Today we're going to make the tiller. It calls for taking a piece of 1.5 millimeter wire, brass wire, and grinding down both ends. To do that, you just need to simply put it in any drill. And you do this until it burns, and then of course the old trusty vernier caliper, and you take the measurements as you go along. This is the finished tiller arm. It's much thinner on one side. This is the side we're going to do most of the bending, and this is the side that will stick into the little wooden dowel, which is a 2x2 walnut, tapered so that it fits into the rudder. So here we go, got it to fit in very nicely, and some CA. Just make sure it's squared off. A little technique. If you have like this, a square or a round, and you have to take off a little bit on either side, you count and make sure you put on either surface the same amount. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've taken off a little bit on every side so that your square remains square. Isn't that fantastic? It's always nice when you get something beautiful model like this and it starts to work. So the last piece of this is to make the housing, which I'm not going to go through the details of it. It's relatively simple, the parts are all there, so you just need to stick them together. But it will be it'll complete the back of the boat, which we'll finish in the morning. Today we are going to start to put all the internals, fittings into the boat, and the first one that we came across was the main topsail sheet bit, which is where you tie the sheets that come down and pull the yards and pull the sails up and down. And it's a real challenge. And I'll just show you this. These are them here, and you'll see that the grain runs this way. And when I looked at it, I said it's going to be a challenge to get these pieces out without breaking them. And I broke 2 of the 4, even though I was extremely careful. The reason I didn't break 4 of 4 is, having broke the first 2, I decided to put CA on the bottom, which strengthened it and allowed me to get it out without breaking. I'm not sure what the solution from the kit manufacturer's point of view, because at the end of the day, when you have these right angle parts, at some point it's going to have the grain running the wrong way, unless the base was separate from the upright post. Here it is. It's all installed and stuck. I use a combination of CA and PVA glue. PVA glue to hold it in place, CA to keep it from moving, because you have to line it up perfectly. And I put the post in first, and then it's the rail afterwards. The other thing you have to do is I have to open up the holes in the rail so that they can take the belaying pins, because the holes are too small. And I'm looking at these holes, maybe even they need to be opened up some more. It's a tight fit. But there's nothing wrong with a tight fit. It means you actually don't have to stick them, you can just push them in. Which of course the rail pins were pushed in anyway. Also, because this is really going to be under a lot of pressure, maybe it's overkill, but I've had parts break, and you have a lot of strings that will come down to these. So I'm going to drill and pin the bottom at an angle of each of the 4 posts, just to give it a little added strength and security. You may also find that we have to open up the little piece here, because once you stick this and you stick this to the frame, this can no longer come out. And for this cover to fit, you may have some slight adjustments to make. The drill is at 0.04 knot. You don't need a lot of glue, just really a tiny amount. And you see it's really you'll use a PVA because it's very easy to clean up. And we just leave that, let that dry, and then we cut them off and sand them down. This box-on sander never ceases to surprise me. I had seen this part, this bit, and really didn't know how I was going to use it, but absolutely fantastic for getting in these fine spots. It's a lovely, lovely tool.